What's up, guys? Just doing a drive home podcast. Just going to cover my thoughts on boxing. Don't get much of a chance in the evenings to do it these days, but I'll try and keep the channel going through drive home podcasts and maybe some memes and stuff. And I'll try and jump on a few other people's channels when I can, when and where I can. And maybe do a few of my own sort of group chats and stuff. But yeah, as I said, it's as and when I can. So firstly, the whole Anthony Joshua thing, the world's probably going to just keep on talking about it until we see a rematch, and even probably after that we'll still be hearing about it. Now, Eddie Hearn today has come out with that he believes Anthony Joshua is still the number one heavyweight. I don't know. I think realistically, until proven otherwise, Andy Ruiz is the number one. Regardless of who I think would win out of Deontay, Tyson, and Ruiz at the current stage, until we see the rematch, I still believe something went on and something wasn't quite right with AJ. It's always going to be seen as the fan sort of excuses and stuff, but I do genuinely believe that there was something wrong that Eddie Hearn and the rest of them all bullshit about. Still so many things would indicate there was something going on. As you've probably heard from several different channels, there was the whole Dad and Eddie Hearn thing. There was the rumours about him getting knocked out in sparring and still having concussion. There was the rumours that he's had panic attacks. There was the rumours that he hadn't been out training. He hadn't been in training in the States for long enough and hadn't acclimatised properly. There's the rumours that he spent until 3 o'clock in the morning trying to prepare for that fight because he didn't feel that he had prepared himself properly in training. There's lots of things. But yeah, we won't know really too much or be able to go into it too much until we see the rematch. Realistically, I would say Joshua beats him in the rematch, but it depends on a few things. Now, I've heard a rumour, I don't know if it's true, I haven't looked into it, about him sacking off Rob Mcracken. Could be a good idea, could be a bad idea. It's obviously something is going on there, and what he's doing isn't working for AJ. There's the rumour that he's going to be maybe getting Freddie Roach, which Freddie Roach used to train Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is one of my favourite boxers of all time, and I highly rate Freddie Roach back in those sort of days, but in recent era, whether it was down to the fighters that he was training not being able to do as instructed or not, we don't know. But he's a good trainer, maybe even Hall of Fame trainer. if there is such a thing. But would he be able to guide the likes of Joshua? I mean, if we could see a Joshua with better footwork, now we know Manny Pacquiao had pretty good footwork, probably world-class footwork. So yeah, I mean, it's a good setup. It would be a good idea in my books to get Freddie Roach on board, whether it's a full-time trainer or just a part-time step-in. But realistically, it would be a good move. It's a change, and you need to change things up when you get to sort of Joshua's stage where you stick with the same guy too long, and you start to get set in ways. Obviously something hasn't been going quite right because he's felt the need to build himself back up to 247 kg, which is nearly his all-time heaviest. His all-time heaviest from my memory being 253 versus Klitschko, and he was too big in that fight, and he nearly lost, and now he's nearly that weight again, and he has lost. So realistically, he needs to sort himself out, stop going up and down in weight so much, get to a weight and get set, get his sort of his ability in that weight controlled instead of going up in weight and then not having the puff to keep the muscles well oxygenated. Yeah, so sorry, I just had a phone call. But yeah, we'll have to see on that one. Freddie Roach is a good candidate for being a trainer for Joshua. Freddie Roach also believes Joshua would probably lose the rematch if he hasn't changed something quite dramatic, which, yeah, it's quite fair to say. There was definitely something up. Nothing Joshua seemed to do was really working very well for him, especially after he got caught earlier on in the fight. Yeah, I mean, he did manage to keep his distance and keep him at the end of a jab, but later on, as we've seen, he was just getting caught left, right and centre, and no matter really what was done, it just didn't seem to work for him. I've always said that he was going to lose to someone short with no arms, no range, no reach. It seemed to be Joshua's kryptonite. When he went against Takam, he had a lot of issues there. Ruiz is a lot faster than Takam. Out of the two, I probably wouldn't have said that Ruiz, before this fight, I probably wouldn't have said that Ruiz would have beaten Takam. But Ruiz is a very strong contender, and people did massively overlook him. You do have to sort of remember that Ruiz has only ever lost to Parker, and Parker has only ever lost, apart from now, to Dillian, and Joshua. So it'd be pretty fair to say that he's up there in the ranks. So I don't know. I mean, where should we place him? I mean, you can't really put Joshua down at like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th position. because there's nowhere else to fit him. Until we see that rematch, he is sort of sat on first on the number 1 spot. Because where else can you put him? You can't put him in 2 and then knock Fury down and Wilder down to like 3 and 4. So really, until there's a decisive decision, I think he's firmly placed as a joint first, I guess. It's a bit of a weird one, but yeah, I'm not saying I wouldn't pick Deontay to smash Ruiz, and I wouldn't put it past Tyson Fury to be able to outbox and manoeuvre him. So, but styles make fights, and just because obviously Joshua beat Parker didn't mean that he was going to beat Ruiz, and just because Parker beat Ruiz doesn't mean that he's better than Ruiz. So I don't know, it's all a bit here and there. I guess it's all still down to sort of personal opinion. But as for rankings, I'd put them both at number 1 for the minute. Wilder 2, Tyson 3, until we see otherwise. But anyway, I gotta go. I've arrived home, and yeah, hopefully I'll get a chance to do a YouTube video with some old friends. But until then, have a good one and keep watching boxing. Cheers.